guys? No, that's stupid. Stupid. All right, I'm sitting. Check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, right. Hi guys, this is Iwana, and I am in Elan by Dominique Renee, and we're doing just some fun content today. She's doing this awesome glam look on me. Then we're gonna go down into my photo studio, take some shots, but we're just talking business, talking just real talk about, you know, being business owners in during COVID, opening up salons during COVID, being robbed during COVID, filing insurance claims during COVID, just everything getting real. So now you're gonna do my makeup?
Yes, ma'am.
Maybe like, Dom, why don't you just tell us a little bit about what it was like opening up the salon during COVID. You know, you basically bought this place like 2 months after, or 2 or 3 months, what was it, after COVID hit and the lockdown happened basically?
Yes, so I stopped working March 18th. That's when COVID hit us pretty hard and closed everything down. And then it was April 10th that I found my salon location and closed. And I'm not gonna lie, I was definitely really scared. I was like, oh my God, no one's gonna come get their hair done. What am I gonna do? But you know what? In life before, we've all been in worse situations, I feel like. You know, we had the Great Depression, we had swine flu and businesses, and people were able to figure it out and evolve from it. So, you know, this is the American dream for both Iwana and I. You know, she wanted her photography studio. She's extremely talented. She's worked with some of the top artists like Louis Vuitton, and who else have you worked with?
Stop, this is about you.
Yeah, but about her too. We're a team. You don't get anywhere in life without being
She's literally the best.
But
you also don't get anywhere in life without having friends like her.
That's true. You gotta have good friends that support you.
Yeah.
But it was scary and it was a lot harder definitely getting started. Like I had to get a lot of permits, and that was.
And you did all that yourself. I remember she would like text me. She'd be like, I've literally been in, what was it, like City Hall, you'd have to, or how would you get the permits actually during COVID?
So yeah, during the pandemic, they wouldn't allow you to physically go into town hall. So everything was done over the phone or through email. And you know, it was difficult. You know, it took a lot longer to get the permits that I needed, but as they say, the show must go on, and the show did go on. So yeah, so it worked out. It worked out well. You have to be stubborn and you can't give up. You know, you have to keep going, and you know, the strong survive, I guess.
Yeah. So she literally like renovated this entire space, like the floors, these booths were in, like everything. How was that? Like, tell me, well, like the design process even, like, was it fun to was it a good distraction too?
Yes. Okay, definitely a good distraction. And when it came to designing the salon, I've been in the business for 15 years. I've worked with some of the top stylists, such as like Nick Arrojo and Tony Rizzo. I've worked in the city and in Europe, and the way that I decided the layout, so in this layout, I actually, because of COVID, you want to be 6 feet apart, right? So I was able to say to myself, all right, let's keep everything that could be 6 feet apart. So if something like this ever happens again, we would be safe and we'll be fine. I also wanted it to be co-ed. You know, I didn't want my guys to walk in here and be like, you know, am I coming into a foo-foo place? But so with all that said, you know, I kept it pretty neutral. Like the furniture is black, the walls are extremely white, so we could see color. It's really important. You know, you don't want someone saying you have orange and red hair, as all the stylists know. Does your client say, I see brass, I see red? Girl, your hair is white as the walls, there are no red. Some people still see red. But it was really cool, and we still have like more to do. You know, Iwana's gonna put up some really cool artwork that we've done over the years. But I just wanted a place too that was like handicap accessible, that like fit every single person's needs, and I feel like we were able to achieve that. So it was really good.
Love it. Yeah, I do love this place. I love being downtown Milford. So many great businesses. too, like around here, and great business owners, all the stores. It's probably not very safe for my bank account, right? But it's amazing. Great collaborators. Wait, let's talk about, let's talk about like your some of the SEO work. So one thing that we started doing when we moved into this space was we really wanted to make sure that we were going to be found on Google. It was super important. We wanted if someone Googled, you know, beauty salon or hairdresser near me or in Milford, that we showed up, or photo studio, product photographer, all those things. And that's something that I have experience in, so I kind of threw myself at it. And Dominique, tell them, you've seen improvement? Tell them about
yes. So very exciting, actually. I had a bride who called me, and she found me on Google because of the SEO work that Alana did for me. And she was my first bride that found me on Google instead of Instagram or like word of mouth. So it was a huge, huge achievement, and I was so excited. The first thing I did, I was like, I got my first, bride off Google. And, so that's so important, especially due with the pandemic, right? Everybody does everything online. You know, you don't want your business to go bankrupt. You don't want to fall apart, so you have to like reinvent yourself. And luckily, with having the right marketer, videographer, photographer, like I was able to have my Google look amazing.
Yeah. And I saw that work with my business, which was why I was like, listen, let's see what we can do here, because now when I get calls from Google, I get so excited. I even tell them, I'm like, where did you find me? And they're like, oh, your website, I found you on Google. And I'm like, oh my God, that's awesome. I did so much SEO work. But honestly, it's not even like that much. It's like making sure you have meta keywords on your, on your website, on every page, and then making sure your Google business page is set up and like you're active on it. That is like almost more important than your keywords, but your keywords are important. So yeah, I mean, I think that's like a advice for small business owners. Like if you're not doing it, you need to do it. I know it's like overwhelming. If you don't have someone to help you, just put in the time. Because before COVID, I had no idea what I was doing, and I just happened to have, a month and a half in the beginning of that lockdown to kind of throw myself at it, and it really did pay off.
And tell them how, like, even if you're first starting out, like for myself, right? So I'm a one-person show right now, and I'm still looking for stylists to rent. I'm looking to build my team. So if anybody's out there watching, you want to be a part of the team, call me. But being a one person, I was scared, like, oh my God, I'm not going to have the money. I won't be able to afford it. But, with working with AG Productions, she really put a plan together for me that fit within my budget, and I was able to afford her help because, a lot of people, I know even for myself, like I'm not good with the computer. Like I needed somebody to like show me how to succeed in that way. So don't think you can't afford it. You can afford it. You just have to find the right person to do it for you. Make sure you vibe with them well, and they share your same vision.
Yeah, I think that's so important, because I think a lot of times people will go out and they'll outsource, and even like in the creative space, they'll just think like, oh, I'm just gonna go hire any photographer, I'm gonna hire any designer. But you need to look at their work, because if you don't, then you might be left disappointed, and they're just creating for you what they've always been creating, and they can't see what's in your mind. So unless you do your due diligence and make sure that they're at least creating things that are that you vibe with and that you connect with, then they'll create something for you that you're gonna vibe with and connect with. The ballerina bun. So I danced for years, and I remember the fillers. I love them.
At first I was like, maybe to do it without it, and I was like, no, we're gonna get the donut.
You know what it is? It seems like I have a lot of hair, but the only way is if you turn it against and then turn it like that, does it look big? Otherwise, it's just as thin as anybody else's.
Well, the other thing that's really good about like these donuts and brides and stylists is good to know is it's going to give you a foundation. So I was trying to create my own foundation, but I really want this to stick. So I'm using the donut to be my foundation, and I'm securing it to the top of her crown. No. Today is more of a glamour look. So this would be for a bride or someone just special occasion. If you're looking for like that heavy glam, kind of like princess look, if you had a ball gown, that's what this look would be the best on.
Yeah. So I think this would be a really great time for story time, where we talk about how we were robbed last week. I guess someone walked into our salon, into my studio downstairs, and took half of my kit. And it was so weird, right? Like when it happened at first, I was almost like so nonchalant about it. And then I thought about it the next day. I was a different person. I think it hit me like 24 hours later. I was like, wait a minute. And then I also think I realized like it wasn't going to be as simple as I thought to get myself back. So I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, so if you are a new business owner, let me tell you, like, don't think you should wait on having security cameras. Like, you know, it is worth investing ahead of time and not waiting, saying, okay, well, you know, maybe nothing will happen for a while and, you know, I could save up the money and do it. No, find a way, take a loan, borrow it from a friend, like,
and do it, yeah. Because at least we would have known who did it. Like, you know, at the end, it's not gonna stop you, but I think not knowing, I think that feels super violating. Because we're like, both of us were like, is it someone we know? Like, you know what I mean? Is it a client of ours? Is someone we brought in here? Like, we don't want them back in here. It feels so weird.
Yeah, and also too, you feel violated.
Yeah.
You feel violated. And you don't want to ruin your relationship between your other person. They think like you went and did it.
No, but no way. I mean, that was like one thing that was like literally when the only thing I thought was like, oh, I must have left it somewhere. My brain wouldn't have even gone to stealing. And then when it went to stealing, I didn't even think it would be coming through your doors. I still think they came through the bottom.
You know what? It's the not knowing that kills.
I know, that's what it is. I think that it's like, could it have been that? Could it have been this? And then I think, well, you know, I started thinking like, well, what else? Like, what else did they do in here? Like, and then, so I was talking to the police, because we obviously called the police. They came, they opened up an investigation, and a detective called me just for like extra questions. And they told me, they're like, well, do you have anything in there now? And I said, obviously not. I took everything out. And they said, well, that's what we were going to say next was, don't keep anything there because now someone knows that that's there and they know they can get in. Not that it's locked, we've secured it, but they might come and try, and what if, which by the way, every time I go down there, I recheck the deadbolt, and it's always slightly moved. It's never open, but it's slightly moved. Like, do you think someone's on the other side of the door, like banging their body into it?
Oh my God, now I think like we got the monster living in the basement there.
But
tell me that, it's gonna scare me.
But I'm telling you, I'm gonna start taking a picture because I push it back every time, and then every time I come, it's not pushed back anymore. It's not open. It's still locked, but it's moved. And it's like, and it's not a loose one. You know, it's not loose. Like you have to, unless you're banging your body against it, like I don't see how it would, unless from the train, that vibration.
No, that couldn't possibly.
You don't think so?
All right, let's say, well, who thinks that the studio is haunted?
Yes, leave comments below. If you think the studio's, leave comments below. If you think it could be the train opening our locks, comments below. If you think someone could be banging their body after hours to get into that door, leave comments below. Well, actually, so Win was like, my husband was looking, PS to everyone watching, was looking up just like different, just to see if there was any sort of news about other photographers getting robbed in the area or anything like that. And he actually found in New York, so not here, a rival photographer got arrested for breaking into his competition studios and stealing their stuff to put them out of business. And he's like, do you think he could be a rival? I'm like, no.
Oh my God.
But if it is, you're an idiot if it is, because legitimately, I now have like I have new gear. So like you stole my stuff and now I have new gear. So really like you just made me better. But if you're not, then it doesn't matter. But if you are, just so you know. For real though, because literally have better gear. It's the same, but it's better because it's new, and the things like just have gotten better.
Oh my God. And you got problems. Just saying.
If that's what it is. But I was like, no, who?
But you know, that's actually a good lesson to tell the viewers too. So like, if you are an aspiring artist and you're just coming out, and you know, we have our low moments. We see our, you know, sometimes your peers growing faster than you're growing, you know, whatever. But like, you can't pay mind to that. And if somebody is gonna try to constantly like sabotage you, say lies about you, try to ruin your relationships with other people, like just know like good always prevails in the end.
It's true.
And you're gonna end up coming on top, and they're gonna be left in the dust. Like, it happens all the time. So just, you know, just make sure you keep that, you know, in the back of your head, even when you have like low moments. So there's a lot of people that are really depressed nowadays, you know?
Yeah.
You know, some people lost loved ones due to COVID, some lost their jobs. So, you know, it happens, but you know, you will always be able, if you got a good heart and good soul, you'll rise above.
It's true though. I always talk that personality is like 80% of anything. Like obviously when you first land the job, it's your work, it's your portfolio, it's your past, but then keeping the job and then getting like when the business we're in reoccurring clients, it's all about your personality. It's how you work with others. It's making sure that you're gracious and humble and sweet and funny too. Like you don't bring your drama into any situation ever when it's work related, because people they don't want to get like negative energy from you. They want positive energy, and you bring that. Your work matters, but people will choose to work with you over someone else over your attitude, always.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Definitely 100%.
Now,
So, recap, how to build a business in COVID. All right, step 1, have a budget. Step 2, have a good location. Step 3, have good friends.
Yeah, to get you through the fact that you're gonna blow your budget and No, but it's true. Have a plan, but be flexible, right? Because I think if we learned anything from COVID is like you could have a plan and it's gonna blow up if a pandemic hits. So be ready to morph and change to what is needed. Like for example, if you're a boutique and you don't have an online store and your store closes down, like you need to be thinking about an online store, about going, whether it's Etsy or developing a website, whatever it is, like you have to think about it. Or just selling online, getting on social media, because you can't get people into your store the way you used to, or because people aren't coming into the stores like they used to. So I think it's super important that it's not just about keeping up with the times, it's about literally using the tools at hand to keep your business alive.
100%.
Right? Because it's not like we went heavy on social because like, oh, we're millennials and that's what we do, which partly yes, but it was also because that was all I could do for a few months, was take pictures of myself and post them on social. But truthfully, I saw a huge increase in my business because of that. Because people were seeing my pictures, even if they were of myself, and they were saying, I want that. That's really cool. So it's just, don't stop. Don't let anything stop you. Not even a pandemic. I'm like moving my
Hey, try to find some cooler headphones. I know, put a few in there.
It's quiet.
That's right.
So, you gotta do a video. I had mine. Or if you just want to look fabulous for your holiday season.